Hi everyone, my name is Selena, and today I will build a workflow on Bubble Lab that allows us to chat with a Postgres database. I am on Bubble Studio right now, and I will prompt Bubble Lab to help me read in my Postgres database and allow me to ask questions about my database and answer it with an agent. Immediately, the agent orchestration is kicking in. Our Bubble Lab infrastructure is written in TypeScript with end-to-end type safety and contains a library of bubbles, aka integrations or tools that can be pieced together and transforms natural language into fully generated workflows. So now that it's completed, we can see that there is a summary of the workflow it just made, and when we open it, we can see that there are flow inputs followed by a Postgres bubble and then a data analyst agent. Instead of building from scratch in Bubble Lab, you also have another option to just migrate your existing JSON-based workflows from any N or another platform. So I found this NAN template that does this exact same workflow, and I can simply copy the JSON file and paste it into Bubble Lab, and we will handle the conversion from the existing JSON-based architecture into our Bubble system. Here is a workflow that's generated from the JSON import, but let's go back to our original flow. To run this flow, we'll need to provide some credentials to access our Postgres database and API keys, and in the flow input, this is where we ask the question that we want this workflow to answer. I hooked this up to our Bubble Lab database, so let's just ask it, how many users do I have in the last 24 hours? As the workflow is executing, there is full observability in the console, so you can see exactly what is going on as it is traversing through my database and figuring out the right SQL commands to use. Now you can see the workflow completed, and we can see the answer right here in the console of Bubble Lab saying that we have 23 new users in the last 24 hours. You can amend and enhance workflows with Perl, our AI assistant, so I can prompt Perl to, instead of just logging the answer on the workflow, help me send a Slack message into our public channel with the question and answer. Perl has the context of our Bubble system and will be able to amend the workflow accordingly. Once it's done, it'll tell you the proposed changes it wants to make to the code, and when you accept it, it will change both the code and the UI. So on the left, I will actually now see an extra Slack bubble. Every bubble and the code that is powering it is bidirectionally linked, so when you click on a bubble, you'll be able to see the TypeScript code that is running underneath the hood for that bubble. Now let's rerun it, and this time let's ask it, how many flows did the most loyal user run in the last 24 hours? And I want it to send into my public channel named All Bubble Lab. And the workflow has just finished executing, so when I pull out Slack, I can see the answer that the most loyal user ran 114 flows in the last 24 hours. Now let's go back into Bubble Lab. Unlike other platforms that are vendor locked in, all flows on Bubble Lab are TypeScript powered, so you can export it in however way that you want. One option is to just download the zip file, which contains all the code and files that are necessary to run this flow, so you can integrate this into your existing code base. Alternatively, because every Bubble Lab workflow becomes an auto-generated webhook, you can copy the curl command and run it from anywhere. So if I pull out my terminal and paste in this curl command and type in a new question of how many users have successfully executed a workflow in the past 24 hours, the same workflow will execute. This gives you full ownership over every single workflow that you build in Bubble Lab, and you can hook this up to your existing systems or even your vibe coded front ends. This flow just finished executing, so now we can see 9 users who have successfully executed a flow in the past 24 hours. That's all for today. We are live, so feel free to build your own workflow on app.bubblelab.ai. Thank you.